Making the headlines this evening, pharmacists decry sharp drug practices in the country. Anambra state government plans to name strategic streets after capitals of southeastern states. Customs Service intercepts cash of ammunition in Tinkan Island port, Lagos. And on the foreign scene, court in Germany has ruled that ex-Catalan leader Puigdemont can be extradited from Germany to Spain. You're welcome to the news at 7:30. My name is Chidima Orangwan. Now the news in detail. Pharmacists have decried high incidence of sharp drug practices and failures to place pharmacists in charge of drug regulation in the industry, ranging from production and distribution to consumption. This formed the course of an academic research seminar and management workshop organized by Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University, Wariam. Correspondent Ejika Abana reports that participants agreed that chaotic drug distribution has been the bane of the practice in the country.
The workshop was organized in partnership with League of Airbenders, a leadership and management consultant. Speaking on the essence of the workshop, the Dean of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Professor Steve Obonia, said that the training intends to sharpen the skills of participants in the abundant potentials and possibilities in the pharmaceutical industry. Mr. Austin Thomas, a lecturer from Bedfordshire University, United Kingdom, revealed that there is a decadence in the Nigerian pharmaceutical industry which can be cashed in on by students who he described as problem solvers that should bring the desired change in the industry. While lamenting the number of lives lost due to fake drugs, Mr. Thomas, among other measures, suggested continuous sensitization as the way out, urging participants against allowing any form of impediment, be it environment or otherwise.
It's been a great time here, and what I have noticed is that the students are yearning for a vision to drive them into their destiny. But the thing about visions is that they are propelled, and they are propelled by knowledge, they are propelled by mentorship, they are propelled by action. And these are the things that we as LAB bring. We bring knowledge, we bring mentorship, and we bring practical solutions or practical tips to help you push you from that level of, this is what I want to be, to this is who I am.
Another guest lecturer, Dr. Kingsley Chukwu from King's College, London, who spoke on time management, emphasized on maximization of time, which he said determines the extent one would get to in life, cautioning against time stealers, saying they should always strive to strike a balance in life activities. Dr. Chukwu urged students to develop themselves as they are not just in school to acquire certificates.
Having an end in mind, helps you to see to it that you're able to be more effective. Having a set of activity.
Some lecturers in the institution who spoke to the ABS, the head of Pharmacology and Toxicology Department in the faculty, pharmacist Ngozi Madubogwu and pharmacist Ogechukwu Nwankwo, expressed optimism that the workshop serves as a launch pad to greater exploits in the pharmaceutical industry by participants.
For my students, I'm believing God that they will keep in and listen and learn the art, because that is what will determine their future.
It's a big blow, is a challenge, because like one of the speakers that spoke already has 6 degrees. It's something that will stir us up.
Students of the faculty who were main participants rose with a renewed energy to succeed. From the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University, Ibariam, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
State government has warned against illegal mining activities across the state. The Commissioner for Environment, Beautification and Ecology, architect Michael Okonkwo, who gave the warning during a visit to Nkwele Coast Coal excavation site, also known as Millennium City in Oka, equally cautioned against indiscriminate excavation of sand at unauthorized places. Agachukwu Keke has details.
During the exercise, the commissioner, accompanied by security agents, arrested a tipper driver, while others who were allegedly involved in illegal sand excavation escaped. The commissioner explained that the aim of the campaign was to identify and seal off erosion sites to stop people from excavating sand from the areas, as well as shake activities of illegal miners as part of measures to shake erosion devastation across the state. Architect Okonkwo lamented that the indiscriminate mining has adversely affected some structures, including fences, houses, and high-tension poles, as well exposed lands to erosion and render people homeless. Mr. Okonkwo restated state government stand to prosecute anybody caught excavating sands and stones illegally, adding that a committee has been set up to look into mining sites and advise the general public to adhere to rules and regulations of the government.
To seal them, find out who is mining, and then determine if that place is appropriate to mine, considering that if somebody is going to engage in mining, they should have a plan for remediation at the end of it, because you can't mine and leave it that way, and that's how erosions continue. So,
on his part, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Environment, Mr. Stanley Oka, noted that illegal excavation has impacted negatively on the lives of people, urging miners and excavators to visit the ministry for necessary details on mining exposition and approved mining procedures.
The negative impacts are high. Once you remove a topsoil, you are exposing the soil to erosion. That's one of the negative impacts. And if you look around, you see pylon towers around. Those pylon towers have barely 10 meters away from this excavation, and once it collapses, we're still going to suffer a great loss from it.
From Nkwerekosko excavation site in Awka, Ogochukwu Okeke reporting for ABS News.
And away from that, Anambra State government is to automate processes in all the 21 local planning authorities of the new state physical planning board. The chairman of the board, Barrister Chike Madayoko, disclosed this when he embarked on a familiarization tour of some offices of the board in the state. Government House correspondent Kenechi Kwafoma has details.
The leadership of the new board, which was inaugurated in April this year by Governor Willie Obiano, was on the tour to interact with its workforce with a view to identifying the challenges facing them and what it can do differently to improve their services in terms of development control. The tour took the team comprising the chairman, Barrister Madwekwe, the general manager of the board, Mr. Victor Boko, the senior special assistant to the governor on monitoring, Mrs. Joy Nelly, and other top officials of the board to local planning authority offices in Onitsha North, Onitsha South, and Obaru Council areas. In all the offices visited, poor filing system was observed as files containing documents were kept on the floor, while there was no single computer in sight. Also during the interactions, the workers revealed other challenges facing them in the areas of power, office furniture, vehicles and water, among other logistics. Speaking, the chairman of the board, Barrister Madwekwe, said it is worrisome that despite having major role in government's renewed revenue drive, the board still operates manual processes which, according to him, encourages corruption and other sharp practices. While noting that the present administration of Governor Willie Obiano strongly believes in repositioning its agencies for a greater efficiency, Barrister Madwekwe maintained that for the board to move ahead towards realizing its mandate, its processes must not only be digitized, but all the offices connected for increased productivity. He warned officials of the local authorities against diversion of government funds, while assuring developers of prompt attention to the application for approvals.
We have gone around. We've started today. We were in Onitsha North and South. By the way, in Onitsha, we have the building you saw is our building. We noted the challenges. The general manager, we will talk about it and see how we can meet those challenges quickly. Also have a governor who's willing to give you the backing you need.
The general manager of the board, Mr. Boko, said the tour was in line with the commitment of the new leadership of the board towards transforming Anambra into the best planned state in Africa, commending the workers for the good work they are doing despite obvious challenges.
The idea is just like our chairman told, we just want to come and listen to our field men. Those are the foot soldiers of the fiscal planning board, and so we went there to listen to them. We listen to their problems and challenges, and at the end of the day, we give them advice. So that's exactly what we
In their separate remarks, the Executive Secretary of Onitsha North Local Planning Authority, Mr. Anambra, the Onitsha South Executive Secretary, Mrs. Rosemary Chiatola, and their Obaru counterpart, Mrs. Chinwe Ikokafo, commended the initiative of the tower, promising that with the expected turnaround it will bring, they will continue to drive the policy of the government with respect to development control and shoring up the state's internally generated revenue. The tour is expected to continue to other offices of the board in other council areas of the state. From Odebe in Obaru Council area, I am Kene Chukwuofoma reporting for ABS News.
Anambra State government says it plans to name strategic streets after southeastern state capitals as a means of fostering unity among the Igbo race. The State Information and Public Enlightenment Commissioner, Mr. C. Donna Adinoba, disclosed this while addressing newsmen during a tour of the newly renamed Abakaliki Street in Oka. Commissioner Adinoba, who said the move became necessary to give Igbo-speaking states sense of belonging, adding that a new layout will soon be mapped out in Oka, where the capitals of southeastern states will be named, which will be neat and meet international standards to show Igbo unity. He described the new Abakaliki Street sited behind St. Joseph the Worker Chaplaincy by Pactonian Hotels off Enugu-Onitsha Expressway as befitting enough to be named after the capital of Ebonyi State. The commissioner, who noted that the former Abakaliki Street was not elegant enough for the capital of an important southeastern state like Ebonyi, with whom the people and government of Anambra State over the decades had an excellent relationship, stating that the new Abakaliki Street is one of the major roads, not just streets in Oka, with a major hotel like Pactonian and sited off the Enugu-Onitsha highway, and pointed out that there is no basis of comparison between the old and new Abakaliki Street. He maintained that it was regrettable that some politicians who misunderstood the state government's action wanted to make political gains by overflogging the issue. The Information Commissioner further hinted that Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State had, during a recent Southeast Governors meeting in Enugu, acknowledged that a minor communication gap was responsible for the misunderstanding. More commendations have trailed the Southeastern unanimous rejection of donation of land for ranching in the region. This was observed when the ABS engaged some of the state residents in an interview on the recent developments in Oka. Correspondent Emmanuel Konkwa, who sampled people's opinion on the issue, completes the story.
Reacting to the issue, the national president, Anambra State Association of Town Unions, ASATU, Chief Alex Onukwe, who is also the Deputy State President, Ohaneze Ndigbo, lauded the Southeast governors on the decision, saying that the region, as the area with the smallest landmass in the Federation, has no land to donate to herdsmen and the federal government for ranching or the likes. Chief Onukwe, who described cattle rearing as a private business of a section of the country, urged the federal government to make provision for the herdsmen in the north, as the northerners are the people with largest landmass and are domiciled in the business.
It's their private business, and I wouldn't understand why it must be at all costs that herdsmen must be allowed to do their cattle, rear their cattle all over the country. So I think I would like to say that here in Asatu we are very pleased with the decision of the Southeast governors to reject the idea of donation of any land.
Contributing, the head of Department History and International Studies of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, Professor Dan Chukwu, applauded the governors for speaking the mind of the people, describing the decision as a right move. Professor Chukwu observed that land donation or leasing has caused much problem in the country in the past, and urged the governors to back up the decision with action and to ensure that the implementation goes beyond urban centers to checkmate the excesses of the herdsmen in the rural areas.
No, it should not just be a decision in principle. It should be a decision that has to be followed up with all that it takes in terms of implementation beyond the urban centers to checkmate the excesses of people who want to colonize others at all will.
Also speaking, an Awka resident, Mr. Choma Omego, advised the federal government to concentrate on how to put an end to the incessant killings in the country, not on how to better the business of a section of the country. In Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Election for new executive members of the Electronics International Market Onitsha will hold on Saturday this week, 14 July 2018. A statement signed by the Commissioner for Trade and Commerce, Dr. Christian Madubuku, said this is a sequel to expiration of the tenure of the present executive members of the market. It stated that the election will avail the traders the opportunity to elect a new set of leadership. According to the statement, the election will hold at the Onitsha South Local Government Area Stadium, Fege, and accreditation will start by 8 o'clock, while voting will start by 10 o'clock in the morning. It's advised anyone interested in contesting the election that has not picked nomination form from the Amateurs House in Modebe Avenue, Onitsha, to do so immediately. The Tinkan Island Custom Commander of the Nigerians Customs Service has intercepted a cache of ammunition at 2 terminals on Monday and Tuesday, an official has said. The Custom Area Controller of the Commander, Musa Abdullahi, said in Lagos that about 150 rounds of live ammunition were intercepted at Terminal C, Ports and Cargo, while 28 pieces of various sizes of jackknives were found in a container. He said he directed the transfer of the suspicious container to the enforcement unit when it was examined and found to contain 150 rounds of live ammunition and 28 pieces of various sizes of jackknives. Mr. Abdullahi said the items contravened Schedule 4, Absolute Import Prohibition List Item 17 of the Common External Tariffs and Section 46 of the Customs and Excise Management Act. He added that the container, a suspect, and the exhibit are currently being held at the enforcement station pending further investigation, disclosing also that the command on Tuesday at 5-star logistic terminal while vehicles were being discharged from a vessel containing 149 rounds of 38 mm caliber live ammunition, 92 rounds of 9 mm caliber live ammunition, 2 rounds 7.62 mm caliber, and 11 cartridges of live ammunition. The controller said that other items found in the bag were 12 expended empty shells of various calibers and an empty magazine, and hinted that both the vehicle and the exhibits were currently at the enforcement unit of the command pending further investigation. And on the foreign scene, a court in Germany has ruled that ex-Catalan leader Carles Puigdemont can be extradited from Germany to Spain for misuse of public fund. Mr. Puigdemont fled to Brussels after a warrant for his arrest was issued in Spain for his role in the Catalonian declaring independence from Madrid. The 55-year-old former president of Catalonia later moved on to Germany, where he was detained by authorities in March. However, today, a court in Germany ruled that he will be extradited to Spain on grounds of misuse of public funds. Prosecutors said they will soon make a final decision on whether to go ahead with Puigdemont's extradition. A source close to Puigdemont said he would appeal today's ruling. It comes after Spain's new Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, signaled a tour in relations with Catalonia. Sanchez spoke with new Catalan leader Quim Torra, but ruled out any more towards independence for the region. And just before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs from any parts of the world by logging onto our website, www.ebsradiotv.com. Like us at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. The main points again. Pharmacists decry sharp drug practices in the country, lament number of lives lost due to fake drugs. Anambra State government plans to name strategic streets after capitals of southeastern states. Information Commissioner Mr. Adinobaho disclosed this in Awka, said it will help foster unity among Igbo race. Customs Service intercepts cache of ammunition at Tinkan Island port in Lagos. And on the foreign scene, we reported that a court in Germany rules that ex-Scotland leader Puigdemont can be extradited from Germany to Spain. Mr. Puigdemont is being wanted for misuse of public funds. And that's the size of our package this night. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Chidinma Oranwa. Do have a good night rest.